Hello everyone, I have gone off the grid for the past couple of weeks. I think a few of you may have noticed, but most of you probably didn't care with everything that's going around the world at the moment. I've been basically doing some reading up and researching about this pandemic because I firmly believe that this is the most significant event that will happen in my lifetime, and I'm just trying to understand it. And in this video I'm going to try to explain to why I have stopped calibrating since February. I know a few of you may have sent me calibration requests asking me to personally visit you and calibrate your TV or projector, and I've sort of been ignoring these requests, so I'm really sorry that I haven't actually got back to you. But I am not willing to visit you, not because I'm afraid of contracting the disease which is caused by SARS-CoV-2, but because I don't want to unwittingly be a carrier, even though I'm asymptomatic, to transmit the disease to you and then you pass it on to someone you dearly love, such as someone who is elderly, or someone who has an underlying health condition, or someone with a compromised immune system, for whom this disease would be extremely dangerous or even potentially fatal. So I have actually purchased a pack of Skittles to try and explain why this disease is so dangerous. Now, it was between Skittles and M&Ms, but the Tesco from which I bought this Skittles was selling these for £1, and the M&M pack was priced at £1.50. So I went with Skittles because in the current financial climate, I am not earning any income from calibration, so I have to try and save a bit. Every little helps in that. So Skittles it is then. And what I was going to try and show with this Skittle is that if I can find one that has a clear S mark on the front, so you can see that the Skittle will have an S mark, stands for SARS or a spreader or something to that effect, and at the back it will be blank. So if the Skittles were facing down blank, then it would be an uninfected person, but if they had been infected with SARS-CoV-2, then we turn it over and they become S. So I, even though was not coughing, was not having any fever, was not having any shortness of breath, I could be carrying the virus as well for maybe up to 5 days because of a lot of the traveling that I do, a lot of the people I come into contact with. And if I visited you to calibrate your display, I may unwittingly pass on the virus to you. I am the vector because all of us don't have any immunity to this extremely novel virus. So you will surely get infected, especially if I'm going to be spending hours at your place calibrating, explaining the whole calibration process to you. So I don't want to be guilty. First of all, I don't really want to wear any PPE into any house to calibrate, but I also, even if I'm fully geared up, I don't want to be responsible or feel guilty about passing on the virus to you, and then you pass it on to someone else who you care about dearly, who may suffer a lot from the disease. So I have decided to adopt what they call social distancing. And to be honest, social distancing is something my missus and myself have been doing to each other since the third year of our marriage. But it is key to prevent the transmission of this disease throughout the population, because let's say if I'm carrying the disease and if I socially distance myself from the rest of the Skittles, then none of the Skittles would get infected. And this is why I believe in wearing masks too. I think a few of you have been asking me, why was I wearing a mask when I visited TCL's factory in Poland to review their X10 mini LED television? It is not for my own protection. It is for the protection of the personnel who were kind enough to invite me there. It was for the protection of whoever is going to visit their facility to review the TV next. So SARS-CoV-2 can be transmitted through aerosol. Let's say if you were coughing, if you were sneezing, or even while you were normally breathing, the water vapors may be carrying the virus. And by wearing a mask, you would be limiting the viral transmission to basically within the mask. It won't extend beyond the mask, and that is the reason why masks are useful. I know governments everywhere, a lot of say disease prevention bodies have come out and said that masks are pointless, but I believe that they're probably saying that because of the lack of facial masks at the moment. There's a shortage throughout the world, and if you look at countries where mask usage is prevalent, say the East Asian countries like China, South Korea, and Japan, they wear masks, and it really does help and are extremely effective in limiting the transmission of the disease, because you wear a mask not to protect yourself, but to protect others in case you were an asymptomatic carrier. But I digress. So the bottom line is, even though there are some things in life that I like to spread as wide as possible, this disease is not one of them, which is why I have stopped calibrating really, really early, even before any sort of official recommendation by governments. I've stopped calibrating since early February, and I hope that you can understand. And it also brings about an existential question about the relevance of this channel. Is what I'm doing even relevant in this day and age where everyone's worried about their livelihood, worried about catching the disease? And so let me know. Are you even interested in TV reviews anymore? Or should I switch gears to maybe reviewing some PPEs like, respirator masks, or even reviewing toilet rolls? Or if you're still interested in TV reviews, the UK may go into lockdown at some point very, very soon. So I may have to go out and panic buy some Samsung QLEDs before the lockdown happens. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about the whole situation. And I think from an altruistic point of view, I am glad that I've stopped calibrating. And I think that, I don't want to be responsible for passing the virus. I think social distancing is extremely important to suppress and mitigate this disease. But the show must go on. So let me know your thoughts. And please stay safe. Thank you.